G'day listeners and welcome to another episode of the Scouting Australia podcast, powered by Australian Property Scout Buyers Agency. I'm your host, Sammy Gordon, and today, guys, we are back for another investor episode. We know that you guys love these things. It's the most requested episodes there always are, and everyone always loves to hear the backstory. They love to hear the journey, and I love to hear everything that goes through with building a large property portfolio. And I'm absolutely pumped to welcome Krishan into the studio. Big fella, how are you, mate?
Good to be here, Sammy. Appreciate your time. Super excited, a little bit nervous, but hopefully we'll make for a good story today.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. I'm sure it bloody will. And I appreciate your time, man, making your time on a Friday to come in and record with us in studio to pass on your story to the listeners as well, mate. So, dude, the thing that I always love to kick off with, man, that I know everyone loves it just sets the scene, man, sets the tempo in terms of, you know, where we're going to work towards in terms of this story. And I'd love to know, man, give us a snapshot of the portfolio right now. How many properties you got in there? What's the values, man? What's the total rents? Give us a rundown.
Yeah. All right, I can dive into that.
Let's do it.
It was actually pretty surprising to do this myself.
Okay.
To be honest, I haven't really done this in a while.
Yep.
So the numbers came out and I was like, oh, geez, that is pretty surprising.
That's juicy.
Yeah, it was pretty juicy.
Beautiful.
Well, I like to think it is. You tell me. So overall snapshot.
Yep.
So properties right now held 7.
Yep.
Total purchase plus build cost is 3.14 mil.
Okay.
Current total values and the values I'm working off, I got Lukey to send through. So these are fresh yesterday.
Yeah, we got him valved, man. I know he hit me up and he goes, do you want us to val the portfolio? Yeah, let's do it. Like internal valuation.
So current total val is 4.54 mil.
Very nice, man.
So the total growth there is 1.4 mil or a 45% increase.
Beautiful.
Pretty happy when I saw that.
That's pretty juicy, man.
Going in a little deeper, so the total loans right now are just shy of 3 mil, so 2.99.
Okay, sweet.
The overall LVR for the portfolio is 65.9%.
I was literally going to say, so it looks like that's bang on 66%. The 4.5 mil with the 3 mil worth of debt.
Yeah. I was just thinking in my mind, well, running a little bit higher on the LVR. So when I saw that, I was like, geez, that's good to know.
Yeah, 100%. 66 is good.
And the equity position then has us at 1.548 mil.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
That's pretty much an overall. Portfolio itself is running slightly negative, around 20K annually right now.
Yep.
Which is, I was thinking it was going to be maybe more than that. And so when I saw it, I was like, for seven properties to be holding them.
For a $4.5 million portfolio running 20 grand a year negative. Like if that thing's growing by probably 20% per annum at the moment, which is close to $1 million a year, to cost you 20 grand a year to hold that thing, that's not so bad.
Nah, it's not too bad at all.
It's been running well as well, man. I did a review, man. So for everyone's, background and knowledge, I did your strategy way back in the day as well.
Yeah.
And when you went through and did your first deal, and when you came back through for the started kicking the journey off a little bit further down the track, you obviously partnered up with Lukey from there as well.
Yeah.
And man, obviously I was running through the numbers and having a look at the deals and what you'd stacked into the portfolio since then. And it's impressive, man. And looking back over that now as well, looking at all those markets that are all running markets and still doing really, really well, dude, to expect a 20% gain on that portfolio of 4.5 mil, which we're talking $900,000 a year, would not be unheard of at all. Especially with what we've seen in the last 12 months, you've probably seen 20% plus, right?
Yeah, it's probably been around that much. And I haven't really looked at what the future holds for it, really. For sure. This has been a lot of reflecting at this time. I mean, the numbers you're throwing around there, they make sense.
Yeah, for sure, man. And obviously, that doesn't take into account, and I'm going to dive into this a little bit as well, but one of the properties that you sold to, so you had acquired 8 over the time frame with APS, and one of them you've just recently sold to, but we'll dive into that into a little bit as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, it's exciting, bro. I'm really pumped to jump into this portfolio, man. And pretty much the whole journey and the backstory.
Yeah, awesome. I'm excited.
Now, mate, one of the things that I know you made a point of this that we definitely wanted to cover off and mention before we dived into today's journey is obviously the massive part that your partner Megs is in this as well. And I know you wanted me to throw that out earlier. This hasn't been a solo journey that you and your partner, you guys are married, sorry, right? Your wife?
Married.
Yeah,
married.
man. So congratulations, by the way. And congratulations on the new bubs only 6 months ago.
It's the best.
You guys are pumped? All good?
Loving it. Yeah, we're loving it. It's, it's hard, but wouldn't change a thing for the world right now. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And,
but
please.
I appreciate it because I'm here. I'm the spokesperson today. But I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my wife. Like, she's been a major part of the journey. So I guess like there's a part of the journey which is me, like the start, the first property, which I'll touch on. But from there on, when she comes into the picture, like we're only got to where we are right now by being in it together,
joining forces.
And yeah, I think for anyone having a partner who's on the same sort of level, wavelength, understand what you're doing, like 1 + 1, the synergy of that is just massive. Like I couldn't imagine us doing what we're doing if we weren't both in it together. So yeah, big shout out to Megs for everything she's done, and she would have loved to be here, but someone's got to look after our daughter, and she's the best at doing that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Mate, I love it. And man, I still remember the last time, there was this one time we jumped on a strategy session. You had your bleach blonde hair and Megs was there. It was the first time I jumped on and saw you. I was like, bro, who is this guy? Who is this guy who's bleach blonde hair? I remember pissing myself laughing when you jumped on because you did not look how I expected you to look, man. So
funnily, that's how she met me.
Yeah?
Bleach blonde, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know what she saw, but
she saw a character, mate.
She did,
yeah. I love it, mate. I love it. Well, man, let's jump into it, bro. Let's get back to the very start. And what I always love to start with, man, is a little bit around the upbringing and what you sort of came into as well, and how you grew up, man, what the upbringing, and then how that led into property as well, man, and the drive to want to achieve something like an 8 property portfolio, 7 now, but obviously acquisition of 8 over this time frame. What was the upbringing like, man? What has given you the drive to build an 8 property portfolio over the last few years?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I guess there's a fair bit to unpack there.
Let's go.
Yeah, so backing up to my parents, they are immigrants to New Zealand. So if you can't tell, I'm from New Zealand myself. I've been in Australia for about 8 years now. Yeah. But yeah, my parents originally immigrated to New Zealand. So my mum and her family from England when she was about 12 years old, they moved over. And my dad came from Fiji when he was about 15, 16, and he moved over as well. Yep. So they we have a big Indian community in Auckland. Yep. We're all, part of one community there. And my mum and dad, they went to school together as well. So that's kind of where they met, their family, friends, etc.
So Fijian Indian?
And
English Indian?
It's a good, that's where they're from, but all 4 of our grandparents are from India, born and originated from there. So we're full Indian. We just happen to come from different areas.
So Fijian Indian and an English Indian with all Indian parents meet in New Zealand.
That's it.
And now you're in Australia.
Now I'm in Australia with my, I guess, Meg's a bit of Scottish background, English background. Yeah. So
it's all come back around. Full circle. I love it.
Mate. But yeah, so in terms of early childhood, I guess like my memories sort of start around that 3-4 years old. Yep. My parents, so they lived in Auckland, but they bought a 4-square. So a 4-square in New Zealand, they're basically like an IGA, like a smaller supermarket. Okay. So they bought one of those, which was an hour north of Auckland. Okay. So they essentially moved out of Auckland, which for them was a pretty big deal because that's where our Indian community is. That's where they come from. They moved up to a pretty small town. It was a beautiful town, beachside with rural farmers, etc. So it's picturesque. It's a nice place, but it's a small town.
Yeah. What's the town called?
Yeah, so it's called, the actual town we lived in was called Snells Beach. Okay. The greater town was called Warkworth. Okay. Funnily enough, these days that place has really, really changed.
Full booming, it's probably like a full.
It's like the hot spot. It's a hot spot now. That market's
all those
changed.
sea change places have gone crazy.
It used to be like an 8,000 population. I think it's gone to like 30, 40,000 now. Yeah, it's like a real hot spot. Yeah. But anyways, we were there.
Do they still own that? What was it, a 4-square? They still own that?
No, so they sold that 4-square. Okay. But Dad has a few things up there still. We're jumping ahead though. But so they own that 4-square and we moved up there. I was about 4. Yep. I'm the youngest of 3. So I've got a sister who's 2 years older and a brother who's just shy of 4 years older than me. Okay. So I was about 4. My brother and sister, as we got there, they were going to school. But we're kind of brought up around the shop, right? Yeah. Like immigrant families that come there, there's a hustle and bustle mentality to it. So we would all help out in the shop growing up. That's just what we did. I have to say here, I was the baby of the family, so I probably did the least. I probably got away with doing the least there. Okay. But when I was 4, my mum was saying, we'll just take you to the shop. Like, we're not sending you to daycare. You just come hang out there 100%. Through the day, which was fine with me at the time. But
would you just sit on the counter and go the upsell for the chewy or
just
something?
walking around, keep myself busy. I'd play in the back. But we all work there, you know, like you get that kind of hustling mentality. Like you can't just learn a work ethic, right? Like just when you're seeing it so much. And our parents worked super hard. Like the shop itself, you're pretty much there 7 to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week.
Yep.
And my parents essentially were the key people running it. We had some other staff members and our siblings were there. But it's long days, you know, it's long days. And
typical family business, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. My mum would kind of wrap up early arvo so she can come home, take care of the three of us, get dinner ready, get the chores done.
Be in the bed.
Indian family as well. So we're making, you know, we're not doing takeaways or anything. Mum's cooking up pretty much fresh curries every single day.
Hectic.
And like things I look back on now, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But we'd have family dinner almost every night. We all sit down, have dinner. So like things like that, like now that we're parents and we've got a young one, but I don't know how they find all the time to do all of that and have a full-time job like that. But yeah, that was kind of like that childhood, like growing up around the shop. Everyone knew our parents, everyone knew us in the town because that town as well we're like the only Indians in the town. So yeah, we're kind of relatively well known around.
Was it like the only little supermarket there as well? Was it like
in our area, Snells Beach? Yeah, it was the only one. In Walkworth, there was a couple others, but yeah, that was one of the main ones. So everyone knew my dad.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. And then I guess
so you learned the work ethic. You think you learned work ethic from being around that all the time?
Yeah.
So you moved there at 4, and then like how?
So yeah, good question. Yeah. My parents owned it from when I was 4 to about 16.
Okay.
So pretty much that whole time I was a child to teenager to almost leaving home, we had that place. So yeah, we kind of grew up there. Like you really do. Like people like see you as you get older. You start going to school. Your teachers are coming there and all sorts. So yeah, it was a pretty big part of our life.
Yeah.
I guess like moving on to school days, like high school, I'd say academically I was pretty middle of the pack.
Okay.
Like I didn't excel, but I didn't excel at any subject massively, but I certainly knew like getting an education was important. I think again, coming from like an Indian family, that education, academia is really important. Yeah. Like from probably 5th form, I knew I'm going to uni, whether I like it or not, I'm going to uni, but I wanted to go. But yeah, I was just a bit middle of the pack, like just a young teenage boy. My favorite thing was just hang out with my mates and
do anything.
Yeah. And we had just a big crew of boys who, to be fair, we're all really tight friends still. So we all hang out together. Whenever I go back to New Zealand, we all catch up. So at least it was worth it. But I think one thing that would probably like sum up high school was my report cards. Okay. I remember it's just like a similar comment always that said, like Krishan has a lot of potential, but he doesn't apply himself. Yeah. And it's just a funny one when you go, well, yeah, they're probably right. Like I could have probably applied myself more, but that's just what it was then.
That was what it was.
Yeah. And I guess I felt a level of pressure and towards the back end, mainly because like my brother in his final year, he was deputy head boy.
Yeah, right.
He was house captain. Yeah. He was basketball house captain. And then he finished up. My sister went into her final year. She became head girl. So there was like some pretty high standards.
You cruising middle of the pack.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see myself getting called up for one of those.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. But yeah. So there was that level of pressure, but I didn't really mind it too much. And then I guess in my 7th form, when I was deciding like what I want to do, I knew I wanted to go to uni, wanted to do something in business, like a business degree or something. But at the same time, like I guess like you're 17-ish, you kind of want some independence. My brother and sister had gone to Auckland Uni, and they were living together on the North Shore.
Yeah, right.
So my dad had a place there, and they were living there, and their unis were just there. I kind of just wanted to maybe get some independence, do my own thing.
Do your own thing, yeah.
So I was actually talking to my student advisor at school. They help you choose your subjects and stuff, what you want to do at uni. And I was telling her like, look, I want to do a business degree, but I'd also be interested in like seeing what other opportunities there are outside of Auckland. And I said, that's kind of like something you can come to me with like suggestions, because I will need to tell my parents and take it home to them. Like, hey, there's a reason I want to do this. Yeah. And to her credit, she came back and showed me that at Waikato Uni, so that's about 2 hours south of Auckland, there was a management degree there, and it had like a really good like 3-star accreditation and all that. So I was like, cool, this seems like a good opportunity. So, I went home, told my parents about that, and first, to be fair, now I feel it more as like they were a little bit like sad about it because I was leaving, but they also saw it as a good opportunity. And I think now, like my daughter comes over, is going away. I was like, oh man, I'd be gutted about it.
And you were the baby as well.
Yeah, the baby. Oh, yeah, the thought of that. But so I left and I went to uni at Waikato, did the management degree.
Yep.
So the first year there, we stayed in the uni halls.
Okay.
Awesome, made a lot of friends over there.
Yeah.
And then did 2 years of flatting in Hamilton.
Okay.
And again, like my best mate today was my friend I met in the halls, and we lived together. So you do these things, you get rewarded from it on the back end. And then my final year, actually, I went on a student exchange. So I actually went over to America.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I went and studied at Arizona State Uni for a year.
Yeah.
So that was another awesome experience. Like going to America before going, it's such a foreign country. Like, you see it in the movies and
it's so different to Aussie. Anywhere.
Oh, it's so different than New Zealand.
Yeah, of course.
Went over there.
Snell's Beach.
It's a little different there. But did a year over there, finished up my degree, finished uni, came back, and I was like, time to get into the real world.
Yeah.
And I thought I got a great opportunity. I landed in a graduate program at a logistics company. Okay. So I was like, sweet, this is what you aim to do. Got into the role at logistics company, and I just realized like very quickly this wasn't really a graduate program. I was picking and packing orders in a warehouse. Right. So it was a bit of a stitch up. It was a full stitch up. And like 7 months later, I was like, this doesn't look like it's heading anywhere. Yeah. Like I'm now like ingrained in the warehouse culture.
Yeah.
So I quit. I was like, I'm not doing this. I also didn't like logistics. I didn't know what it was until I got in there. Yeah. I realized it's moving stuff around. So I quit, and I basically just went overseas for 5 months. So I went back to ASU and stayed on my mate's couch for like 6 weeks, and then went to Europe for a couple months. And then I came back to New Zealand, and I moved. I was in Auckland, staying at home, and that's kind of where my actual career started. Where I landed in like media advertising.
Yeah, right.
So that's when like now I'm like I've gone from I'm working in the city in a big building and all that. Got my first kind of job that felt like there was a career there. Mm-hmm. Getting paid like 40K at the time, so like nothing massive. But when you're not earning anything,
how old were you at the time?
I would have been like 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did this graduate thing or whatever the bullshit was in logistics, and you weren't even getting paid.
No, I was getting paid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I just hated it. Yeah. I think one thing I did miss is actually my exposure to property. Yeah. So it's worth. Yeah. So growing up, like my dad, like probably from like high school days, he sort of started like investing in property. I didn't ask him before coming on here to talk about it because I didn't want to like distort my sort of vision, like my memories of it in the sense like I didn't really know what was going on that much, but I kind of knew like he was making plays. He was like buying a few properties. But what was interesting, like they sold that Foursquare when I was like 16. So my dad was around 50, mum was about 45. Yeah. And they sort of like essentially retired.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they kind of just like my dad manages a lot of the properties that he has. So he's still hands-on. Maintenance, doing renos, doing all sorts of stuff. Like whenever I go home now, he's so busy
doing something.
Yeah. But
how many properties has he got?
I don't know. Like, I don't.
You never asked?
I don't know the exact number. Okay. I could count a lot on my hands though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't put it on record.
Okay.
But yeah, he's dabbled in a few different things in that space. And like at that stage, we didn't talk, it wasn't like dinner time conversation, but we knew, and as we got older, like even like uni days, it was more open conversation. Yeah. Like we knew there was a path to sort of like success through property. Like, I've, in those years when I finished uni, like first books I'm reading in property, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of that. He's got all those sort of books at home. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of just exposed to it in that sense. And then, so back in New Zealand, back in Auckland working now, I also was really keen to just like start like seeing what else I can do to make money. Yep. Like that was a big thing. I was like, even though I've got a job, I do want to just start like making some hustles or whatever.
Yeah.
first hustle I got into was I was importing like fake Dre Beats headphones, fake snapbacks, and fake like micro SD cards.
Yeah.
And I was just selling them on an auction site back in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I'd get them for like $10.
Did that work?
Yeah. Everything's pretty short-term works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I was buying for like $10 and like selling for like $30, $40.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So at that time, like that's a pretty good profit margin.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, around about 6 months in, it sort of fizzled out because the auction site's like, mate, you can't be selling counterfeit things.
Yeah, right.
I was kind of like, it's not that fake. Like anyone who's buying them knows these aren't real because they're like so low price. But I didn't have an argument. Yeah, they were fake. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, what else could I be selling? Like, there's money to be made. Is there like a bit more of a legitimate way to go? So I was just searching on sites in China, and the next thing I came across were bell tents. So like those big glamping tents. Yeah. And I just saw, I don't know, it's so random, but I just saw them. I looked on that auction site. I saw no one was selling them. Yeah. And I saw you could buy one for about $300 from China and import it. And I was like, well, the worst case, I'm not getting a bell tent to my door and I lost $300. Yeah. Anyways, I ordered one. It came through and I put it up on the site and it sold for like $700-800. Whoa. Yeah, it's like big profit line there. And so I was like, well, this could be on to something. Yeah. So then over the next few months, I was just like importing one or two at a time, avoiding any sort of like customs issues there. And I just kind of started selling those like a few at a time. And then I learned a lesson in business then as well, which was like one day I ran that market selling my one or two pieces. And then one day I just woke up, someone was on the site selling like 30 different variations, all the accessories, priced me right out of the market. Done. Overnight. Just done. See you later. Yeah. And I was like, now I'm stuck with like 3-4 tents at home. Yeah. And that kind of led to the next business idea I had was, like, can I turn it into like a glamping business? Like you rent out all the stuff for glamping. So I'm just like thinking of ideas, you know, and quite often I'll jump into it without fully fleshing it out. I'm young at the time. So then I started a website, like building out a website, thinking like this is going to be a glamping business. You can get it set up and all that. And like 3-4 months down the hole, I bought a bunch of things. And then I realized I've got a full-time job. And I was like, this is turning into a full-time job. Like, how am I logistically going to go set these things up, bring it down? So I just realized this bit off way too much. And then I kind of shut shop on that idea. Yeah. So now I've got accessories and beltings at home. And then the final thing before I left the country and come over here was my mate got me into a bit of crypto. And this is very fresh days at it. He took me out, like, come meet me for a coffee. Yeah. He told me all about it. And I think I left there more confused than I went in. I was like, yeah, I'm in. So we just started buying it. Absolutely no idea what's happening. It was just like going up daily. Really? And, This is like 2016. Like, So over 10 or so years ago. And we're just like seeing this thing grow. And again, like we'll buy in and then it will fall and you just don't know what was going on.
Full vortex.
No, I still don't know. I still could not. Someone puts a gun to my head. Tell me what it is. I could not tell you. So that was kind of like a few things I was meddling in. Then that's around when I left New Zealand. So I done like 2 years there. It was around end of 2017. Actually, I moved over to Australia. Came to Sydney. I thought there'd be some good like job opportunities here. I landed. I was working in sales at a broadcast partner over here.
This is in Sydney. So you moved to Sydney.
Okay, 2017. Yep. And I wasn't loving the company. I didn't like. I had come from a big advertising company, and I thought I knew what it was. And I came here. I was like, this is not it. Not the same. And I was still looking to like hustle around and do other things. And so that's when I came across like a mobile app business where you could like buy a franchise of a mobile app business for like 15-16K. Yeah. I look back on these things, man, now and I'm like, what the hell? What were you thinking? Like, what were these ideas? But I think I was just like so desperate to get success. Make something happen.
I can feel it.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, this seems like a good idea, like a mobile app business. So I literally like bought into this franchise, and you essentially what the business is like, you will then have the tools to go out to businesses and sell their mobile app development. Right. Okay. You don't need to know anything about mobile app development, allegedly. Yeah. So I quit my job and said, I'm going to do this full time, which again, like I was just a lot more carefree. Or I'm a bit more risk averse now in some capacity because other people think about in my life. So I quit and I started doing that. I realized like within a month that no one really is in the market to buy mobile apps. Like, I just found out like, I don't know how to sell this and I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was just like, well, what else can I be doing on the side while I've already quit my job? So then I got into like Facebook advertising. Like I did a lot of courses in Facebook advertising, learned a lot about it. There's a lot of courses out there, a lot of rabbit holes to go down. And then, so I learned all that. And I started like trying to pick up customers and that. Again, struggled massively. It's such a saturated market.
Yeah, for sure.
Picked up like 2-3 clients, started running with them, but it was just not bringing up much, like next to nothing. And this went on for like about a year and probably, so the last like 4 or 5 months of that year was just like you've pretty much hit rock bottom. I just didn't have any money. Like I simply did not know how I was paying rent weekly. And that is just incredibly stressful.
For sure.
That's when I realized like what financial stress and financial pressure actually means. Like when you just don't know, like you're just like, there's people you could ask for money, but you're like, you don't want to do that. Like call home, but I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. So I was on Airtasker. I mean, I was picking up any jobs. I was doing like gardening. I was doing landscaping, all sorts of stuff just to make money. And then you reset on like Sunday, like, all right, you got another 7 days. So that was, financial pressure has been the most stressful thing I've ever felt. And I think, like looking back on that whole year that I did that, like I would have lost 100K. I worked it out to be around that much. And I got that off buying that business. All the courses I'd done, and then the opportunity cost of not having a full-time salary that I was getting. So like I look and I was like, there was literally 100K in a year that
you burned.
Just burned. And all, like that include like your savings are gone. Any sort of savings you got from the past, all gone. So that was something that was pretty hard to look back on. Like it was a hard thing to reflect on for sure. I think it was like a real painful experience for a few years there where looking back on it, I would struggle to really. I'll just try not to think about it because I felt like nothing good came from it. And then so this is like mid 2019 now. I actually had thrown in the towel. I got a full-time job. I went back to work. Started saving around then, and around this time was when I really started looking into property a lot more. And by looking into, I mean I'm listening.
Had you met Megs yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting there. So I'm just like, because I've been watching my parents. I think my brother and sister may have already bought their first investment properties. So getting exposed to it from a family level. I was just not in a position until now. It's still not in a position, but the position to learn at least. So I was just absorbing everything, man, like podcasts, books, anything like that. And there's so much out there. You know, when you don't know what you're doing, you don't know anything about a strategy, there's infinite amount. There's not enough hours in the day to listen to it all. And there's not enough hours in the day to get so excited about a new strategy, you know? It's just so much. And then I found like one sort of like podcast that I started listening to a lot. And, you know, I thought this looked good. This looks like maybe something. You know, when you start going down one person, you really get into a bit of an echo chamber on what's good. I bought their book. Read the book, and then I was like, okay, this seems like this might be something to like look into. And I'll tell you maybe after who it was. And then they did like a financial like planning thing. They did like a investment strategy for property. So I was like, okay, so they can give you like a property investment strategy. It's going to cost like $2,000 to get it done. So I was like, all right, you know, this seems like the next logical step. So they're experts. So I paid for that.
They run a big podcast.
Yeah.
I think we know
who it is. And so I paid for it, and it was honestly after I paid for it when you came onto my radar as well. So I had already known I'd paid for this, but then I'm still listening to a lot, and I heard of you, and so now you've just come on my radar. And I'm waiting like a month for this investment thing to come through. So I'm already absorbing a bit around what you're doing. And that's when I was like, oh, I already think what they're about to give me is not going to be great because yours is so different to it. Anyway, so my investment strategy comes through. I get a 101-page document.
Whoa.
101 pages. I obviously didn't read it. I was like, So I didn't know. So now I'm searching through it. Like, give me like the strategy on a page, or give me something.
Yeah.
The essential, like the crux of the strategy was, and this is 2019. They're like, we're going to buy you like a 500K property. Yeah. We'll look to probably hold that for about 30 years. For about 4 or 5% growth annually. You have like a passive income of about 85K by retirement. In 30 years. So I was I was working towards retirement age, having about 85K.
What, one property?
Yeah, this plan was like one property.
What sort of a plan is that?
Oh, I don't know. I might go read that 101 page. I might have skipped something. But yeah, I just remember reading it going, well, I could have done that myself. Yeah. Like, it's not much to this. Yeah. So I was just super disappointed. Yeah. I think I would have been way, way more disappointed if I hadn't started like hearing what you were doing. Yeah, and then I was like, because I felt like, oh, nah, this actually seems more like it.
So you were already sort of checked out from what they were talking about anyway. And then when they presented that, you're like, hang on, like this fully doesn't align with what you wanted to do. It would have been way worth if I felt, I'm back to square one. I felt like, nah, I was waiting for this to come through. Yeah. I probably wasn't going to do it. Yeah. I'm glad they've made my decision a lot easier. That's kind of when I guess I started listening to some of your podcasts. I think I came across you first on that Property Invest Story. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I heard a couple of them there, and I think so I went back and like looked for more from that you had done and listened to them. And I just remember like, you're super relatable. Your strategy was like different, like very different, or like the way you talked about property was different. Yeah. I hadn't really heard too many people looking at it from like the lens that you were looking at it. Yeah. And like kind of not a short-term play, but there's gains to be made and movements you can do in like short to mid-term. Yep. So yeah, I think we had our actual I think I reached out to you and we had our intro call. I got it down as like December 4th, 2020.
2020, yeah. You bought the first deal in 21 from early 21.
So it was a bit of a period before the first deal came through, because at the time I still didn't really have the money or anything together.
And December, January is it's a super low buy window anyway for what's actually possible. So we chatted in December 2020. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You didn't have enough cash at the time.
No.
Okay.
So I'm still dealing with a few losses.
Still bleeding.
Yeah. So first kind of like engagement we got into and signing was in Feb 2021. Okay. So that's kind of like now I'm kind of looking, but I still didn't have the money together, man. Like just didn't have it. Yeah. So that's like I was saving, but I actually then like reached out to my dad and I had a conversation with him, like, because he kind of knew I'd been like trying a few different things and looking at it. And I was like, look, this is a strategy that I've seen here. He's not overly familiar with the Aussie market. Yeah. I was like, I just think like this has a lot of legs under it. Yeah. It's a bit different. And I was kind of like chatted to him a fair bit about like, this is what I'm really keen to get into this. Yeah. But right now it's going to take me a long time to save up even, or the full deposit really. Because I just still wasn't on a high income at that stage. Yeah. So, and also like for like my dad, like getting like a guarantor and stuff. It's just so niggly between countries. Yeah, like all of that's just hard. Yep. So my dad actually gave me 45K as like a bit of a buff, like a head start really. Like rather than like a guarantor or anything, he said I can put that much forward as like a borrowing, like something to repay at a later date, which I'm super grateful for, because that really was like, that helped me now go, okay, I'm in attainment. I've still got to add a fair bit of savings. I've got some savings, but that just kind of made it the journey a little bit easier for me, more possible.
At that stage, yeah. Have you paid your old boy back the 45K?
It's on the radar this year, man.
Come on, brother.
Hey, I've asked a couple of times and he's given he's like, oh, I don't really need it right now. Yeah. So, and like, honestly,
when he asks for it, then you'll get it out.
Yeah, it's always there, but it's also like, if it's not going to him, it's going straight into another deal, right?
So sense.
But I to be fair, I have asked a couple of times, but it is something that I'm like, you got to pay that back probably this year. Yeah.
Well, I guess if he's happy for you to be building the portfolio, and if he doesn't need it right now, but he's like, oh, give it back to me when the time's right. Yeah, that's sweet.
And that's the thing. Like now, anytime it ever needs it, there's always an outlet to get that money.
You got like $1.5 million sitting there. Yeah, for sure. That's
Don't tell him that.
we better beep that bit
out. But this is now we're getting to like first property deal.
Sweet.
So before we get into property deal one though, this is actually when I've like met Megs as well. Sweet. So
it's all happening for you.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Life got busy. So 2 months before the first deal, that's kind of like I met Megs for the first time. So I met her at work. So I was working at a company, and then she came on board and started there as a sales manager alongside me. For me, it was just like love at first sight, and I don't think it was two ways at the time though. But we became like really good friends over a couple months, and then we started dating, and it was just riding a high in life at that stage.
Yeah, and work was good at that time as well.
Work was good, and honestly, like this probably was the first time once me and Meg started dating, I could kind of like look back on that year of failure without having so much pain for it, because now that I met her, I felt how I kind of resolved that pain was that you didn't do that year, you wouldn't have like done it, and then you wouldn't have got the job you got, and then you wouldn't have got your next job. Like the sliding doors led to me happened to meet her at work, and I could have so easily not have met her. So that just I just released all that sort of pain and like bad feelings about all that because I met her now. So
it led you there, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's all the pathway, right? That we end up with. Well, it sounds like she's very important to you as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was funny when all my mates met her for the first time, they just said, yeah, Krish doesn't shut up about you. But yeah, so property. That's so I just met her. And then property one, this basically came through 7th of October, 2021. So I'm about 29 at this stage. I got an email in my inbox from Sammy, all in capitals, urgent, off market, 4-better, priced accidentally as a 3-better. So I was like, first I'm like, is this a spam email? I don't know. I've never got an email like this before. Never seen a deal of any sort.
For sure.
But you had told me though, like,
wait, when was this? Sorry,
this was 7th of October, 2021.
Oh, so when Brizzy was in the hottest part of the cycle.
Yeah,
it was absolutely red hot at that time.
So
you're 12 months in.
The good thing is you had told me like when a deal comes through, they're pretty hot and like be ready to like pull the pin. Either way, whether you want it or not.
Do it or not. Yeah.
So a little bit about that deal. Off market, mispriced as a 3-better. It's actually a 4-better. It was one renovated bathroom sitting on a 683 meter square block. It's in Logan, Queensland. So 25 Ks from Brizzy CBD. But this one also had the potential for a granny flat. So we sort of like looked at a cash flow deal right off the bat. The numbers on this one, the purchase price was 355K. The estimated renos was 20K. And the market value post renos was 410K. So we're looking at a 35K discount.
Beautiful.
So the rent and the estimated rent was around 350 for the house. And once the granny flat was done, 380.
Yeah.
So we basically settled on that one on 11th of November, 2021.
Yeah, sweet.
We sort of needed like about 130K to come into that one just because we had the renos to do and the granny flat, which needed that construction.
You did 20% of your yard, didn't you?
Sorry. 88.
Oh, you did 88?
Yeah,
okay,
but
so 12%.
The construction loan may have been 20.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it was around that much. That's why, I needed to get that deposit together.
For sure.
This was the first time going through all this. Like a few learnings from it was just everything was new. Like everything I was doing, I'd never done it before.
And that was a like semi-advanced strategy to start on as well.
Well, that's the thing,
buy,
right?
reno, build
as
well.
Which, to be fair though, like even though I was so like impressed how quickly, efficiently, and how sort of little you need to do as a buyer.
I just remember teams, man.
I just remember thinking like I wouldn't even know where to start with a granny flat, like what to do. But we basically we settled. We got the renos done straight away, like as in the team were in there. And that was also super impressive. Like I didn't know, like I think it came out around 24K.
Yep.
I don't know 24K can do like that much. Like really, this place looked a bit dated.
For sure.
Floors done, the doors are done, blinds, everything, liquor paint, and the place just looks so nice. And then the granny flat, basically that got underway as well pretty immediately. It took a little longer just because it was that period where like Christmas, etc. We settled in November.
Yeah, for sure.
So there was like that
shutdown period for sure.
Yeah. And then also, if I recall, there was like really bad rain when they came back. There was like 6 weeks or so.
Bro, that's when we moved up to Queensland. So we moved out in December 21 and then the flood, they had those hectic floods in February 22. That's when I moved up and then I was like, isn't it supposed to be sunshine in Queensland? And it just rained for like a month.
Yeah, well, it slowed down my but yeah, so that's why it delayed a little bit, but still like the team was just super good at updating it all. And even like the finished product of the granny, I was like, geez, I again, I don't think it was going to be like this. Looked like a small house.
I know they're good.
Yeah, it's like a 2-bedder, nice carport. So yeah, that was pretty
good
sweet.
Deck out the front.
Yeah. Apart from that, like,
so what'd you build the granny for?
Yeah, so the granny flat we built for in the end was 185.
Okay, sweet.
We got a few upgrades on that as well.
Yeah.
And so we completed that on 9th of August 2022.
Okay.
And that rented for 380. So on the granny flat, it was like a 10.6% yield. Nice. So pretty solid on that.
Beautiful. What do you reckon that property's worth these days?
I just found out. Beautiful. Well, I found out from Lukey, and that was higher than my valuation.
Yeah.
So
what'd the boys put it at?
Well, the total purchase, reno, and everything came in at 565 in terms of initial position.
Yeah.
The current valuation is 875. Okay. So like 310K growth in like 4 years.
Bro, I actually reckon, like, this is the thing as well, because obviously I got grannies in that area too, man. And like, I honestly reckon you get higher than that. Like, it'd be at least high eights into the 900Ks, because it's a finished product. Your rents, I also saw what the rents were as well. Your rents are a little bit low on what it could be.
It's renting now at 1,000.
Oh, he's renting combined at 1,000?
1,000. Okay. Yeah.
So what are you pulling on you pulling what, 550 on the house and 450 on the
9.2. Yeah. It's 560, 440.
Yeah.
And 9.2% yield on the whole thing.
It's a 9.2% yield.
Yeah. On the whole deal.
Yeah.
And so pretty decent, man. Like,
100%.
Yeah. Happy with that.
Sick. And for a cash flow deal, man, like, that's beautiful. 9.2% yield, your 310K uplift as well. That's beautiful.
Yeah, very nice.
That's beautiful. So you finished this thing in November. You say August or November? August.
So we finished the actual build of the granny flat in August 2022.
August 2022. So what's the timeline? August 2022, we get this thing finished, rented, bang, everything's done. What's the timeline from there to the next deal?
So this was our longest gap.
Pause,
no, it wasn't the longest gap, sorry. Yes, it was. It was 15 months. Oh, so 6 months from settlement from the granny flat build. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you're talking early 202023.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it actually wasn't the longest, but it felt long because we settled on the initial house,
and
then the actual next purchase felt really long. But yeah, I think one thing I'll reflect on here that I just remembered was those are the early days, like me and Megs were dating as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And so she was never really exposed to property much growing up, much like many people. And like, so I remember like early days, I was telling her about like, I'm one deal in right now, but I was just telling her like what I'm like looking to do, and I've read so much and all that. And I was telling her like my plan is to like build a full portfolio and retire young and all that. And she was super receptive about it all. That's like cool. She loved it. She loved the idea and stuff. But I just remember her like once in that conversation being like what would you do if you don't actually achieve that? And why I bring it up because I remember I just like answering being like, well, there's like no version of me that won't achieve that. And it's such a like I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, it's such a funny thing to say when you're only one deal in. But I just felt that confident on what the strategy was and what you had kind of articulated, what APS had articulated. Like in the day, it's not that hard. It's just doing it really. So if you can stick to doing it and pushing it, like the strategy and stuff, like you can put it together. So I really just at that stage felt confident that I don't see how we're not going to make it happen. I don't know what it will turn into, but just keep pushing as hard as you can.
Yeah, the confidence around the team and the process. And
exactly.
The result.
Nice, man. Anyway, so property 2. So this one, and so from property 2 is from when me and Meg start buying together. Everything from here is us two together. Yeah. So this deal came through 15th of Feb 2023. Yeah. It was in WA, Perth. A little bit around this deal. So we were actually ready with 2 pre-approvals at this stage as well. So once Meg's came in, we got our affairs in order. We had 2 ready to go. So this was an off-market deal. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, built in 1994, solid 567 meter square block. Purchase price was 405K.
Yeah, beautiful.
And the estimated market value was 440. So
juicy.
Another like 35K discount.
Yeah.
The estimated yield was around 5.8, 6.2 based on rent. Yeah. And the funds for this one needed was like around 83K.
And did you ship equity out of the first one to buy a second? Okay, so you pulled equity to buy a second.
We pulled equity, and then Megs has come to the party with some money and myself some savings. So but the Clara Street's been pulled a fair bit.
Yeah. You've stripped it to keep building. And it makes sense to though. Like it's something you got to do. And then you think about it. Let's say you pull a deposit. Let's say you pull 80 grand out to buy this, 80, 100 grand out to buy this one in Seville. And then it, in WA, and then it goes through its growth cycle. And let's say it goes up 300 grand and then you sell it off. And if you still have the 80, 100 into it, plus the extra 300 grand on top, bang, you pay the 100 back plus the 300 on top to actually get it down. So it's all part of the journey.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, sweet. So you paid 405 for that one in Feb 2023. Now, I think this one's worth touching on because obviously this is one you've gone on to sell since then as well. So give us a bit of a rundown on that.
Yeah, cool. So that is the one with the one property that we have sold.
Okay.
The reason we sold it was we basically have a lot of tied up debt in our personal name by this stage. So we really wanted to just clear some of that. And we sold it this year, like a couple months ago.
Perfect.
And, WA had gone through a pretty good cycle and we were going to get like pretty good money for it and clear a lot of debt. So that one sold for 660.
Okay, beautiful.
So it went up 255K in 2.5 years. Yeah. It's about 63% growth.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So, happy with that. And also happy just to clear that debt against that.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just allowed us to move forward. Yeah,
perfect. Man, that's good. And sometimes, man, you got to bank the wins as well, right? Like when a strong growth asset goes through a strong growth cycle, but its yield, even though the rents I know would 100% have grown as well, if there's that much debt tied up in it and also cash tied up in it, it's like you could fully leverage it out, but then you're going to cap yourself anyway. So freeing up some of that cash to be able to move forward is perfect, man. It's a great strategy.
Yeah. I mean, when we sold it was renting for like 600 a week.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it had grown. Yeah, that one had gone up a decent amount.
Yeah, nice.
But moving on, so property 3 was in Queensland, Kelso, which was
when was that? What time frame?
This deal came through on 5th of March.
Okay.
So this came through 3
close.
weeks after property 2, basically.
No way.
So yeah, I think like things are moving quick, and it was like an element of a little bit of stress there when you're going. We're still pretty new to it all, and suddenly we've had a bit of time off. And so we just got 2 deals come through, and I'll go through this deal, but we did learn a bit of a lesson on this deal well. But yeah, this deal's off market, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 576 meter block. So we purchased this one for $342,500, and the estimated value was $375, so just over 32K discount. The rental yield expected was around 6.3 to 6.8, and again we needed around 71K for this one, and we had pulled. We had used that equity that we'd pulled and a fair bit of Meg's savings as well.
Okay, sweet.
So like Meg said,
so property 2 and 3, you've done a bit of savings combined with equity release from property number 1 to fund into property number 2 and 3. Property number 2 and 3. Okay, sweet.
And Meg's had actually she had come into some money from her dad had passed away and had a house, like a small cottage, which the siblings decided it was out in quite far out rural in Perth. And they had sold it. And so Meg's had got her share, and she, credit to her, she's like, let me put it forward, put it towards it. Yeah. So she helped us on that journey, like immediately with that.
Perfect.
So that's kind of like where we're getting some of that money from, really. And
cool. So what do you reckon that'd be worth today?
Yeah, so that's been valued at 600K.
Okay, beautiful.
So
that's a nice uplift, man. In the same sort of time frame, 342K purchase up to 600K.
Yeah,
you're not that far. Like 80% growth, circa 80%, 78 or something.
So exactly. 250K in that short amount of time. It's just kind of crazy. But yeah, one of the things we learned on this one was we were getting the equity from from Logan, and we knew it was, we thought we definitely knew it was coming through. So we'd moved ahead with the deals and stuff. Yeah. And then the loans just got just a hiccup. Yeah, stalled. I did not think they could stall. I just didn't even think of it. I was so fresh still. Yeah. And so we're like coming up to settlement, and we just didn't have the money. And we needed like 40K that we just didn't have. And we were like, this loan has to come through. And like we were working with a mortgage broker then, but just, I'd gone up to Aussie Home Loans at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first property I just gone up to local Aussie Home Loans. And like, I was like, mate, and then this guy, I don't know if he just knew the pressure we were under. I was like, we need that money. Luckily the loan came through like 5 days prior to settlement. But we were just stressed. Like, we're like, okay, who can we actually like ask worst case. We're like, no, we don't want to do it. We don't know what to do else. But yeah, so lesson learned.
Came through in time.
Lesson learned after that is just like get your affairs in order, get your cash affairs in order.
Sure, man.
Like you don't want to be caught in that.
Very stressful, man. 100%. I've been through those little pieces before.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And I remember that block of dirt that I had in COVID, dude, that I had to settle, and it was supposed to settle just before COVID, and it didn't. And then the banks I was supposed to get the funding from, they pulled their lending on vacant land. So all this cash that I was supposed to put into the build, I was supposed to build in cash, but instead I had to settle this block in cash. I was like, you know what I mean? But that was not supposed to be the plan at all. And then I remember, and I had to figure out what I was going to do. And I was either going to, because I was also worried because everyone was talking about the market crashing. And I extended it twice, and the developer goes, no, that's it. That's the last extension. You've got to settle it. And I couldn't get a lender, so I had to settle it in cash. And then I ended up going down the private lending route, and I got private funding at like 13% to the build. And then once it was built, because then I could rent it, then I refied the cash back out of it. But man, in that, bro, it was so stressful because I was like, I had that earmarked, man, like fully exhausted all my funds walking into COVID. Bro, I was self-employed, like the market died, clients weren't on the books, and I was like, I had to come up with this fully exhausting the funds. Bro, those moments are the most stressful that you can run through in your journey, man. Those moments related. Like, I need that cash and I don't have that cash.
It's like, just don't get it. I need it.
It was hectic, man. It was hectic.
But yeah, I think so that was the kind of end of property 3. I don't think there was much else really on that.
Man, that's a beauty. So again, 2.5 year-ish sort of window, and you're up 80% in 2.5 years, and that market's still pumping.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
We're holding that.
Nice.
Property 4 came in 6. So this deal came through 13th of October, and this was 6 months after settlement of property 3. Yeah.
And so where are you doing 2 in succession again, or are you just doing 1 at this time?
This time I think we did 1, but we follow it up pretty quickly.
When did you strip the equity? Where did you pull the equity from for this one?
So where are we? We got
probably Perth at this stage.
Yeah, it was Perth.
Yeah, because it was growing rapidly.
Perth grew pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Like we were like, okay, cool, we can
go
kind of get. And we're pulling up to 88 all the time. Yeah. Like we always just rode it because it's worth mentioning here as well. After property 1, we went to CBA. Yep. You put me in touch with a borrower there, like a lender, and just a legend. Like, man, made it so much easier for
that. Was our guy at CBA. Yeah, the best.
Yeah, he was so good. Like, I still call him like, even though we've just
he's
wrapped
a champion.
Up. He is. We just moved all our loans recently. But he just helped so much with the process and just like getting things done quickly, which like allowed us to move, and he, getting the equity, and CBA gives good revals, so that helped.
It's
as
a
well.
good combination, for sure, around the policies and everything.
So that was a massive part actually that you got us onto, because I could have easily not have gone to CBA, but I'm always, I think like whatever APS has kind of told me or told us. We've sort of just gone with it. Like we haven't really used too much, as you'll see. Like even from here, like we will kind of just use the team around, because like so many people are successful with it. I don't.
Man, if you've got a winning formula,
exactly. Why do I need to change it? Yeah,
you don't make caramel slice with bloody with fucking vanilla. You make caramel.
Yeah. I don't know if you do or you don't, but
I don't know either, mate. I was trying to make some analogy, but I went to cakes for some reason.
Anyway, so property 4. This is Wandale, Queensland.
Okay.
So 13th of October, this deal came through off market. This one was positioned as like a cash flow property to us. High set weatherboard house, 4 bedroom, 1 bathroom, but also had like a big rumpus downstairs. So really like a 5 bedroom with a toilet. So 1.5 bathroom, big block, 812 meters square. So the purchase price here was $395K. Okay. We negotiated that down to $390K because of the building and pest.
Okay.
Which is cool, good to see, because we haven't really had to do any negotiating or anything, but to see that we could actually do something off the back of it.
For sure.
The estimated value then was $435K.
Okay, sweet.
So it's about $40K discount on that one. Estimated rent, $500 per week.
That's juicy, man. Juicy yield on that for
about 6.66.
Yeah.
And the capital needed here was around that $84K. So we WA, we had taken
WA strip.
Yeah,
going into number 4.
Bit of savings as well. Like Megs and I, our career is going pretty well as well. So we'd moved into pretty solid jobs.
So you're saving pretty hard.
Yeah, at the same time. And it was just me and her at that time. We didn't have a family or anything. We were just living in an apartment together. We'd moved in together, so we're just saving a lot better now. And so we settled on that one 15th of November 2023.
Yeah, beautiful.
So the current rent on that property is $580. So we got it at 7.7% yield.
Nice, man. And what's the val?
The value on that is $580 as well.
Okay, sweet.
So around 189.5K jump.
Just to be exact.
Yeah, in 2 years.
Okay, sweet. What did you say? Sorry, 580K.
580K. Yeah,
580K val. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, man.
And I think the main thing we learned from that one was how with the building and pass, like I remember the first ones we used to get, we didn't know what to do. Like they always come back looking like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know? That was something we learned.
We always would have negotiated if we could on any of the BMPs as well. Man, I would have thought Logan Central, like at the very start, we would have, because that would have been, that was Morgs and I back in the day on that stuff as well. We would have negotiated on that, but the market was also hot. So when the market was running as red hot as it was back then, especially when we secured it at a good deal, we may not have been able to negotiate as hard on that. But then
that one did come back. I remember that one, like the first time seeing the building and pass, you're like, what is this?
Bro, especially a house in Logan for your first deal. Yeah. You're going to see some stuff.
And I remember you guys sort of like eased a bit of my concerns. So I was like, well, I don't really know what any of this says, but this guy's making it sound pretty bad. And nowadays though, like when we get them, I read.
You got to read them with a pinch of salt because the inspectors are doing it to cover their asses. They got to list everything they see in there as well, which is good because you can use it for negotiating sometimes. But it also paints a picture in terms of what it is. But the cool thing is, again, reiterating on that, we got the reno in on budget and everything done to the property as well. So that makes sense. And then WA, you can only negotiate on structural defects. So that's obviously what stops you from being able to push hard on that.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just a get out of jail if there's structural defects. But then outside of that, man, it's not from a it's kind of those more maintenance sort of style items. It's just almost the same as New South Wales. You can't really negotiate on it from that perspective. You kind of go in with what you got. But that's good, man. That's cool. So at this point, we're 4 properties in. We've got, the first one where the first one obviously being a nice cash flow deal running at 9.2% yield. Several WA is growing really strongly. You're 80% on your first regional Queensland deal, and next regional Queensland deal, you're up 70% on that as well. So then, man, like this is firing at this point. So what's the sort of transition around there? It's October 23. We picked up a second regional Queensland deal. How we move from there?
So next step on the journey was in 14th of Feb 2024.
Yep.
Actually, I should probably mention. Oh no, this is around the time actually. Yeah. So this was 3 months after settling on property 4, but also like life had got a little bit different then as well. So like in November, end of November 2023, Megs and I got engaged.
Okay.
So that was like super exciting. But then we're also like at that time, we sort of knew that we wanted to have a baby in the near future, and so we're kind of thinking like should we get married, like have a short engagement, and which we were both on like happy to do, but then it was just like a logistical nightmare trying to sort out where to have a wedding when Megs is from Perth, I'm from New Zealand, and we live in Sydney. And we just like, well, what do we do? So we were tossing around ideas and what we're doing, and honestly, like we ended up landing on having 3 weddings. So
Really?
So and we had so we basically said we're going to have 3 weddings, one in Perth, one in Sydney, and one in New Zealand. Because the other thing is my Indian family in New Zealand, like of course want to have a big Indian wedding.
Yeah, of course.
We're doing that. Megs liked the idea of having a wedding in a church as well in Perth. So because she's got all her grandparents in Perth as well. So you don't want everyone traveling.
So we had 3 weddings.
So we had 3 weddings. We had them pretty quick. So end of November got engaged, and 17th of Feb was the first wedding. So within like a couple months. And so this deal came through 3 days before the first wedding.
Hectic.
Yeah. So it was pretty busy period going on there. So this deal I'll jump into where was this one? This one was in Queensland. Regional Queensland.
Beautiful.
Off-market deal, built in 2011, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was a 512 meter square block. So the purchase price here was $475. And the estimated market value was $510.
Okay, beautiful.
So another pretty decent discount negotiated.
100%.
And we estimated the rent would be around $520 to $550 for it. So the capital needed here was around $92K.
Where'd you pull that from?
We had pulled this from property 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you'd already gone back in.
Oh, sorry, property 3.
Property 3. Okay.
Yeah, property 3.
Okay.
Yeah. We had pulled a decent amount from that one. And then Megs and I had a bit of savings that we had pulled together as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we're just stripping equity as
Just
quick
rinsing,
as possible.
Rinsing and moving.
Yeah. We were fine doing it. We knew this was the right thing to do to move forward. Like, we could wait around, or we can just do this and keep moving.
For sure.
So that settled 20th of March.
What do you reckon that's worth?
So that current value is coming at 660.
Okay.
So about 185K growth in under 2 years.
Beautiful.
Almost 40% increase, which is massive. Yeah.
That's massive, bro.
And it's currently rented at 590.
Okay.
So you're around that 6.5% yield.
Solid. Very solid.
And then after that, so the next deal actually was 9 months later. So this was a bit of a gap.
That was a big swing,
And this property, the next one was on 7th of November. But that, again, like, we've had in this period, we've
three
had
weddings.
3 weddings. So we had our Feb wedding, then we had a Sydney end of March.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of June, we had our big Indian wedding in New Zealand, which was like 4 days.
How many? What's 4 days?
Yeah.
That's hectic.
Yeah. So
how was that? How many people goes to that?
honestly, it was like one of the smallest Indian weddings we've been to, but it was still 200 people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And that's literally like the smallest Indian wedding you'll ever go to. Like, my sister had probably like 600-700 at hers.
Wow.
Which is relatively middle.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, we had the Indian wedding, and then like the day after the Indian wedding, we thought the wedding period was over. It's time to relax. And Megs wasn't really feeling that well.
Yeah.
So she actually took a pregnancy test, and we found out that she was pregnant.
Hectic.
Yeah. So we sort of went from like this whole journey of the weddings for like being engaged to the weddings, to doing all that, to like straight into like another life journey that
For
was
sure.
super.
Next
Like,
stage.
we were really shocked but super excited because we wanted to have a baby soon, but
And you
just
just had 3
timelines
weddings.
got moved. Yeah,
That's
timelines
crazy,
got
bro.
compressed. so you see, it was a pretty busy year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're still doing things with the property. Like, I won't speak on all of this stuff too much, but we were making moves in the back end. But again, we're just trying to focus on our life as well.
For sure.
But so the
Property number 6.
property number 6, deal 7th of November.
Yeah.
This one was in one of our secret locations.
Secret sauce. Break out the hinds.
Yeah. A little bit around this deal.
Yeah, let's go.
So on market property, first one on market.
First on market.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll be honest, when this property came through, this one, like the secret location, this one took a moment in time for me and Megs to go, oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting.
Shocked you?
Yeah. I'll say this was also the first time I got the location videos that you send.
Yes.
That was needed. To be honest, man, like, we was like, this is left of center. It felt left of center.
Freaked you out a bit?
It was like the first time we're like, okay, we're going to put like all our faith in APS right now that this is going to be something. We had some healthy discussions about it. But yeah, we went for it. And so on market deal, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 800 meter square block. So, good size. This property was purchase price 450, estimated market value 480, so around that 30K discount.
Yep.
And we thought it would rent for around 540. We actually got it rented for 550.
Gotcha.
So still about 6.4% yield.
Now, how's the val on that thing, man? So you bought that in November. We're recording in October, so we're talking 11 months. What's the val on that, man?
About 11 months. It's coming at around 580.
580. Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
so about 130. Yeah, pretty decent.
So you're up 30% in 11 months.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with
APS
it.
might know what we're doing, or what?
I never questioned it. Not to anyone at APS.
Oh man.
Yeah. But the good thing here is, and to say that we actually trusted what the strategy was, that we bought the next deal, which was 4 days after property 6 settled, same secret location. We doubled down. So we said, like, if we're doing 1, you may as well do 2.
Mate, you know what's funny? I'll give you one little bit of insight on this. When I finished that location video, I remember it vividly because I was in the studio with producer Kel, who's in the next room over here. And I remember when I finished the location video, when I ran through everything, I was that amped. I called all the BAs in the because I always buy them first, right?
Yeah.
And when I recorded that location video, man, I called all the BAs and I said, I want you to absolutely smash this location.
Yeah.
I want to see everything that's like juicy. I just want to see. I didn't care what it was. I said it's renovation deals. I buy reno deals, all sort of thing. I said I want to have at least 10 by the end of the year.
Yeah, nice.
I think I did that video in July.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by February, I think I owned 20 odd properties in that location. So it's funny, man.
Right.
I put my money where my mouth is, and it's one of those things, man, that when I back a location, bro, I go all in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's I've always done it where I put my money where my mouth is, because it's the same as like you getting in there and wanting to, needing to feel comfortable around it. I'll never put your money where I wouldn't put it myself.
And that's like part of the reason, it eases our mind is that there's that, right? Like it's not just you, like some of the team, whoever involved, 100%. Like people are putting their money there, they're backing it
for sure.
So that
almost everyone in the team would have properties in that location, in everywhere that you've bought.
Well,
in everywhere that you've bought.
I mean, that's what whenever any of the buyers talk to me, they're like, "Yeah, we've got like one or two here. We just picked one up. Or Sammy's picked up a deal here."
100%.
But yeah, so this next deal was pretty quick
same
after.
Location?
So this one on market as well.
Okay, sweet.
4 bedroom, 2 bathroom. This one was on 1,000+ meter square piece of land. So potential for at the time we thought dual occupancy.
Okay.
This one though, not the catch, but the thing was that it needed a decent amount of renos.
Okay.
Like it kind of looked like someone had tried to do renos and then they just stopped halfway through. So like there was a bit of water damage in the ensuite, but then there was just walls like exposed. Like So we knew it was going to be around like 40K of renos that needed.
So how much did you pay for it?
So we paid 411,500.
Okay, sweet.
We had a reno budget of 40K that we put aside. So yeah, so
did it come in on budget?
It actually did. Yeah, it came actually maybe just under even.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, in the post reno estimated value was 475, so we're thinking around that 35K discount. Okay. And that reno budget, I was surprised because like when you're going 40K and there was a lot to do.
Yeah.
You're like, we went into it going, it could be more.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
But so I was pretty surprised. But there was just a few things along the way that, we actually found that we don't need to do that. I think there's like a pool in the backyard. Yeah. They're like, we don't have to get rid of it. We can just like leave it and like cover it. They're fine with that. Yeah. I was like, well, that's great. We'll take it. Yeah. We don't care. Yeah. Just do whatever you need to really to rent this at a like a standard that's allowed.
100%.
So the settlement on that was actually also quite long. So it was 12th of March. So it was like a 3-4 month settlement period.
Yep.
And then, we rented that actually for $550. So we got a 6.3% yield.
Yep.
The renovations took about 6-7 weeks to complete. So the total cost was around 451K, 500. And now the current val is 605K. So that's 153K in like 4.5 months.
Yeah. So you're around pretty close to how much?
About 34%.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty close to 40.
Yeah. Beautiful. So again, another not too shabby deal.
And when did you? What month was it that you contracted that? Would that be in Jan or December?
So that came through in December, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it came through in December.
December 24th. So we're talking.
But it didn't settle till 12th of March.
Okay, sweet. But 9-10 months since you obviously contracted it. 9-10 months, since you contracted it. Will be 9 months. Yeah, man, 35% in that time frame. Yeah. Obviously, you did a bit of sweat equity on it as well. You did the renovation. Yeah, you took on something a bit bigger as well. But that's beautiful, man. That's a massive result.
Yeah, well, that one when it came through.
Like what was old mate with his podcast, with his financial plan? He's targeting 5% a year for the next 30 years. Yeah, sick. I'll be dead by the time I can do anything with it. Got 35% in 12 months.
I should send you the plan, man.
I don't want to see the plan. Actually, you know what? I need fire paper for the fireplace in my house.
There you go.
Please send me.
You got 101 pages.
I get a few fires going out of that thing, but I might just burn it all in one hit. But we digress.
So yeah, these deals we've been very, very like impressed with because that's just such quick growth and just allows now, like we haven't pulled any of that equity out yet or anything, but it's all next stages that we're working on.
I love it. So last deal, man, deal number 8.
Last deal, and between this deal, this is like also another life-changing part was 4th of March when Meg's actually gave birth to our daughter.
Yeah.
So that was again like another period where like I think our life just took a full turn and our daughter just became our focal point. And,
For sure.
ever since then, that's been our focal point. But it also just gives you a little bit more like, not skin in the game, but what are you doing this all for?
Yeah.
You kind of start thinking about your future life. As you go older, you got your kids to leave things for, and how do you set them up to have good values, but also live a comfortable life. So yeah, I think it's been a good kind of thing for us right now, and we're obviously loving being parents. But the final property, I'll touch on that, and then it was post this property. This property and the sale of Perth were pretty much at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So this
Which settled first?
This property and then the sale.
So you did hit 8 properties.
Yeah, we did. We did hit 8. Yeah. Then I had to get rid of one. I was like, oh. At the same time, we were looking to shift our loans as well. Okay. So there was like 3 things happening. We're selling, we're buying, and we're shifting all our CBA loans over to another lender because we had kind of maxed out and we needed to get someone. Second, third tier lender. But even from like an accounting standpoint, whenever we need anything, like we use the team that you use. And again, why try fix something that's not broken?
100%, bro. That's just my exact team. You know what I mean? The team you've got is my personal team. In this scenario. So who you're talking about there. So I love it, man. I love it. That's sick. That's sick. But mate, let's run into property number 8, man. Let's round this out.
This is 16th of June. This deal came through. So this one was another location I won't disclose.
But a new secret source location.
Yes, new secret source. This one was on market purchase. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 675 meter square block. Really nice, well renovated. It was a 1960s build, but like fully renovated inside. So the purchase price here was $605K. Okay.
Most expensive one so far?
Yeah. Estimated market value was $635K. And we estimated a yield on this one due to the rent would be around 4.9, 5.2. We've just rented it now for $600. So 5%. And we settled on that one on 19th of August. Nice. So that one was a pretty clean deal, like nothing wrong with it or anything like that. So that one literally we just got it rented. Tenants had just moved in.
Beautiful.
And the current day value, I mean, we just settled on it, but
a month or two ago.
Value is around 640 at the moment. So already like that 35% that we thought we'd have.
35 grand, beautiful.
I love that, man. But that's pretty much like all the properties, and that's when the sale happens. And that's kind of like where we are right now.
Where you are now. Yeah. And you're kind of resetting and now sort of building from there. Now you've sold one, cleared the debt, banked some profit.
Yeah. So we're kind of like looking at next steps. So next steps right now are so we needed the sale to go through to get the loans pushed through. So, there's like that little chicken and egg. Everything's ready. So once that went through, all the loans went over. Also, again, like, Janine and team, they're just doing things, helping out. Just like, I didn't even know we're pulling out like 150K equity on the way. The accounts all opened up.
The cogs are in motion.
Yeah, the accounts all opened up and all this this money popped up. And I was like, I had to email. I was like, hey, did we do like some equity like releasing? Because we were kind of strapped at this point. So I don't know where we had equity. We just couldn't pull it because we had nothing to do with it without borrowing. But she's like, we got 150K out on the way through. so we had that. We got the sale of the property. So we got it, we're a bit cashed up, ready to go. But at the same time, now that we've moved banks, we've got 2 pre-approvals. So those pre-approvals they're going to probably come through even today or very, very early next week.
Yeah, beautiful. You got 2 more coming through?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll be
well on track to getting to the 9 and 10 by the end.
Yeah, we'll be back in line hopefully next week. So I've already caught up with Luke, talked through strategy, talked through next steps as well. So we'll get those 2 going. But we're also looking at a sale next year. We've got a lease coming to an end, probably like March next year. Property we're looking at selling was the actual property 4, which was like a potential cash flow one. But it's like the granny flat build, all that these days, it's just
too long, too expensive,
too long out of the market
for sure
right now.
Well, you're looking at minimum 12 months at the moment for a build to go through the process, get everything sorted and everything as well. And reality, man, is velocity of money is so much better elsewhere. If you'd built it 2 years ago when you bought it, or 18 months ago when you bought it. 2 years ago when you bought it, it's a different story. Literally 2 years ago this month, it's a different story. But the fact that we didn't, and the thing is you wouldn't have wanted to because it would have taken you out on the market for a period of time.
Always, that's the thing. Exactly. The reason I've never built it was that I've gone and got it all quoted up and everything, and then I just looked, I was like, does this make sense to do? And then it just didn't make sense. So it hasn't made sense for our journey because we could go into other deals. And so we've done that, and it still doesn't make sense to do it. But what makes sense is maybe getting rid of that one because it's had a good run. It's done like 100, almost 190K. Probably growth on that property. We clear out the debt though. That's a big thing.
Yes.
And
reset and go again.
We'll be ready. And that's when we probably want to explore like the commercial properties. Then I think
inject a bit of cash flow into the portfolio.
I think that would be the plan. Like we'll get these two more maybe bread and butters, and then see what the route to a commercial is post sale of that one.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then potentially is there another sale on the horizon?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Do we need to look to sell another one to get into a larger commercial deal? I think that's a bit of an exciting play because that's again going into something foreign, something new. Not that this is boring. We love doing this. We love deals coming through, but the commercial stuff is still very new, very green to the area. So keen to explore and just having an open mind on like what we could do. Like, yes, we're looking at selling property but does it make sense to sell another one to get into a bigger deal?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And what are you able to unlock? And is our market's coming towards the end of their cycles, and it makes sense to sell while the market's hot as well. It's just intelligent investing, astute investing, and picking the right times, man.
Yeah.
To be able to pull the triggers, to be able to acquire the right assets.
Exactly. Yeah.
And man, that moves me into like the question, like we're sort of on the back run here, man. And I'm very curious to know a few different things, and probably the predominant one is your actual goals around as well. Obviously, there's goals that you and I discussed, many, many years ago would be they could potentially be different, but I'm curious to know like what are the goals you're chasing now as well?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like we've been so head down on this whole thing. Like if we put a number in the sky, like I'd say 300K passive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I could sit here and tell you exactly how I'm going or how we're going to get there.
Yep.
We just know we're doing the right stuff right now. Like sometimes you can just keep moving. We're trying to push as hard as we can all the time. And I think that's just an important part of it. Like
100%.
as long as we're pushing ahead and we're talking to the right people, right? Like I don't need to sit down and think of that strategy. That's why I talk to APS. That's why I talk to Janine and the team. They're the people who help me. We're just there to implement, really.
For sure.
But that's kind of like the goal, get to that 300K.
Yeah. It's funny, bro, because looking at your portfolio right now, like I can see it easily in terms of where we're, for sure. And I see definitely the next couple of steps that kind of get you towards. I know Luke, you'll be running you through the strategy, but like, quite, and he's obviously, the only person above him from a strategy perspective in the team is myself. And, I always talking strategy nonstop. And they're all bloody well versed in it because they're all got 10 plus property portfolios, all the strategists. Man, it's very, very clear looking at this, the pathway towards getting you to there. And it's funny because the acquisition, like we're talking about, potentially of commercial next year, combined with the fact that you've got, Logan Central in there as an income producing asset, producing probably around 45K per annum net passive if that was paid out. Combined with a nice juicy commercial next year, you're probably only looking at one more big commercial after that purchase that would round out a $300,000 per annum net passive in income. And then it's just focusing on the actual debt consolidation piece that goes alongside it as well. And they're the different little plays that we do and that we figure out and that we understand when's the right time to implement each style of deal to then ensure you can keep moving forward towards the goal, not get stalled before you have the entire portfolio built. You know what I mean? So it's like cash flow needs to be injected at certain times that allows us to retain the servicing to continue to build in the second or potentially third phase of acquisition that'll then work through the consolidation to pay it all out. And it's a very, this is the thing, like you kind of said before, from your end, it feels like a very easy and simple process. And it is because you're working with the right team. And you understand there's a cost associated with it, but also how many years or how many decades is it actually cut out? Or does it just actually just get you there, let alone cutting out decades, but actually get you to the goal regardless of time frame or anything to come with it? So
100%.
I think it's one of those things, man. Like I look at this and straight away I see the exact plays. It was like before when you go, the property we're going to sell. I said 4 just before you said 4, because obviously with Lukey and I, man, we work exactly in the same as all the other boys. And I had a conversation with one of the young fellas last night. We had the Equity Mates live, and one of the young fellas that we just did a deal for 3 months ago. He just had a valed up 20-year-old kid, man. Tommy Press, actually, I'll give him a shout out. He was there with his dad. They were in from Bathurst, and he just did a deal 3 months ago. He's had it valued up 45K up in 3 months, and it's not enough to get his second deal just yet. But another 3 months, he'll have more growth, more equity in there that he's going to be able to pull. But he was concerned, he was a bit worried about knowing when to exit. And he was a little worried. And I said, man, that's what we're that's, man, as long as you're with APS and you're still having your strategy calls and all the rest of it, it's like you knowing which property you're about to say that you're going to sell, because you and Luke, you've already spoken about it. And you know what I mean? It's the one that we knew we were going to sell. It's all strategic plays.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like going through this strategic play, going through this process, this is the way that we build everyone's portfolios, because we know, and that's the thing, dude, I look at this, I know it's mapped, bro, how you're going to get there. And the consolidation and then reacquisition of different deals to then follow through with the final consolidation to get there. Dude, it's just a process combined with the correct execution. When you get all that right, man, it is easy for you guys going through doing it because they're moving the right pieces and you've got the right team to execute, both broker, accountant, and BA as well. And man, that's how this thing actually comes to fruition. You know what I mean? And that's how you guys get on the stage in 2030 as well. And all these different things, man. It's all about following the correct process and you guys backing us. You look at those, man, I understand. You probably saw that, man. Your heart probably went in your throat when you first saw that location of that first secret source deal, because, man, everyone shut themselves. And they're like, imagine, Sammy, are you sure?
Yeah.
And I had some guys I've been working with for 5 years, man, on the phone that are 20 plus property portfolios. And they go, are you sure? And they're like, man, I'll back you, but are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, man, 100%. And man, this is proof's in the pudding, mate. Yeah, 10 months, 30% growth.
We didn't have to wait too long for the proof, right?
Exactly.
That's the other thing.
Exactly. But you started to back yourself. You could have been like,
absolutely.
wait to see it go, man. You wait a year, you just miss out on 35%.
And I mean, we had a discussion, but our discussion was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not like days. We got it in the evening. By the morning, we've already said yes to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, 100%. And it's exciting to hear that you can look at it or what our portfolio looks like, and you can see a path there.
100%.
Because what we're chasing, like that 300K, to me, to be honest, I haven't sat down to look at how exactly we'll get there. So 300K just felt like a number that
is in the sky.
A bit in the sky because we've been kind of head down on the journey, and we enjoy our life, we enjoy our jobs, and so we want to retire young, that's for sure. But it's not like we're like, for example, myself waking up and I go, oh, I hate going to work. Like I enjoy it. But there is an element of I'm not planning to do this for a hell of a lot longer. But we've got a few years in us and we're earning well and we can continue growing this. So 300K, but after hearing you talking about it, it's like it makes us excited to go, well, where else can we take this over the next journey if we keep pushing the pace we're trying to push?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also get ourselves a nice PPOR.
Primary residency time as well.
For sure. Don't know where it will be. Okay. Location is unknown. We don't know where we'll end up settling.
Might have 3 houses like you had 3 weddings.
Don't get that idea in my head. But yeah,
I wouldn't recommend that one, brother. But nah, man, I love it, mate. I love it. Well, man, all I can say is congrats on everything you've done to date as well. Man, I'm curious, obviously you now being, and I always like to get people's feedback. Obviously you've been in School of Property now for quite a while as well. Thoughts on School of Property?
Man, I was in there like very early days. I think when you first launched it. Again, easy decision. Like my way of looking at School of Property is we're doing a degree in property right now with APS, right? Like you guys are teaching us a strategy that is unique and there's nowhere else to kind of go get any info on it. But you've got like, if you go to uni, you got to get the course curriculum, and like APS, like the School of Property is that course curriculum for it. So I use it just very often. Like I'll hop in there whenever I have a question. If it's just hopping into a specific little like what do they call the module or the Q&A. Like I struggle to get on live just because time frames a bit tough. Sure. But I haven't missed a Q&A. I watch every Q&A every month. And I think it's just something that it's a easy decision to get because you need it. Like there's so much you can learn, but your time's not available all the time. Your strategist time's not available all the time. They're busy. But so it's kind of reflected in School of Property. Like a lot of your questions will get answered in there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, mate. Mate, wait till if you weren't in on that September one, that's probably our highest rated webinar to date, man. Yeah, that one was
last week's one.
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, man. It was 60. It was something like 65 odd questions in 2 hours, and bro, I had the audience was that interactive, dude. I had like 60 questions, bro. But I lost my voice because I was getting so amped, man. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was that was it. We had that many people asking for even the recording that were on it. They want to watch it back again.
Oh, okay,
that one went off. Yeah, you got to watch that one, man.
I will be. I watch it the day it drops.
When you watch it, I want you to send me a message after. Let me know if it's as good as people are telling me.
All right. Deal.
All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Man, I love it. You've achieved a massive result. Yourself and Megs as well. Man, my key takeaways from this thing as well, dude. Like you hustled. You tried to find different things, different avenues. You felt a lot of pain going through and making mistakes. But you've turned around $100,000 loss and a really shitty year into getting yourself in, man. Finding a way to do it, and then getting yourself started on the journey. And then obviously when you and Megs come together, man, you've joined forces and really sent this thing and try to stay consistent. But dude, even backing the team, I think it's one of those things, man, like it sometimes can be hard to place trust in people and also place trust in a process and almost like a system like APS is. Like it's a system and a methodology and something that we move people through and execute on. And dude, you backed it. And even things like I know, like you said, like it wasn't a long decision, but it kind of stopped you guys for a second on it. But then you backed it, man. And then you got 30% and 35% on 2 different deals in 10 months and 11 months, which are crazy results, but you have to have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And man, it's an inspiring journey, dude, for someone who's gone through a lot of stuff and had a lot of sort of failures at the personal level of different things you tried to do, but you just kept getting up, man. You kept pushing forward, you kept going forward and not letting these things stop and stall you. And you also remain consistent. The biggest thing I can see here, man, we've had a 4-year window since you bought your first property. It's pretty much bang on 4 years. You've done 2 properties a year.
Yeah.
Over that, if we average it over that time frame, you've done more in the last like 24 months, but over that period of time. And what do I always say? If all you do is buy 2 properties a year for 5 years, you have a 10 property portfolio. If all you did left it for another 5 years, you're probably going to retire on 150, 200K a year net passive. You know what I mean? And like you've stuck perfectly to that as an absolute minimum. And I know like you guys are about to do another 2 deals now. You're going through, you're pulling levers, you're selling things, you're buying more, all the rest of it. Man, it's a well-constructed portfolio with a lot of consistency in it as well, man. So, and I can see the consistency snowballing now and compounding.
That's it, right?
And that's where I see this thing really starting to explode, man. That's why I can see the pathway. It's just taking the different points and pulling different levers, picking up the different deals. And mate, it's beautiful, man. I love it. It's a really, really good portfolio, man. So well done.
Yeah, cheers, Sammy. I think massive props to you as well for making this company, man. Like this has changed our lives around. Like there was, as you know, just trying to see how do you succeed in this world financially, and that's just one less thing we need to care about now. And what I mean by that is like what to do. Yeah. We already know. It's just like doing it now.
It's a consistency.
And consistent. It's just like such a thing to know that you don't have to look around. And even like what I listen to nowadays, I don't listen to much else. Like like in terms of property podcasts or investing podcasts or anything. I can't just listen to APS and stuff, which is nice because I don't have to use my bandwidth on stuff that I don't need to. Because I'm not looking for another strategy. I'm not looking for the next quick thing to do. I've already got that sorted. So yeah, I think and for you to make the company to where it is now, like personally trying to do certain things along the way and failing, I'm sure like for you across your journey, there would have been times when you wanted to give up and to not give up. So yeah, I think it's impressive and appreciate everything you've done to get us to the position we're in now.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And I think the real success comes from just pushing forward. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like you with it. You had that year, man, where you burn $100,000 in your words, mate. And but you don't let it define you. You know what I mean? Like the greatest losses are just the greatest lessons.
Exactly.
That's all it is, man. And the more pain, the more scar tissue, the more you don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the lesson is almost like the shield to keep you away from it, and the street smarts to keep you away from it again after that point as well, man. So it's all part of it, man. And I love the push, the grind, the still pushing forward, man. Like you're just at a different point of your journey compared to me, but man, you're like, this is a thing you're young, bro. You guys are young, there's so much in front of you. It's just starting to compound. Like you have no idea what the next 2 years has got to have got in front of you.
Well, that's what we're hoping, right? Like next 2 years, we've done a lot of back work to get the portfolio to where it is, that the next 2 years, hopefully we can just kind of blow it up a little bit more. Sure. And you know us, we're if it's available to do, we're going to go do it. We're not going to sit on our hands too much. So that's why we're pumped about already having the next 2 pre-approvals ready, looking at what we can do in 2026.
I love it, man. I love it. I've got a final question for you before I jump into rapid fire. If you want to do rapid fire, man, how does it feel? You guys been worth $1.5 million now?
Well, I only found out like a few days ago.
It's funny, you don't think about it. All of a sudden you're like, holy shit.
We live pretty like one nice thing we reinvest. We don't look at a property, but we have a nice place we live in. But we are pretty modest. You know, we don't think about like we've got 1.5 so we can go below that or anything.
I know, but how's it feel to have it?
It's a cool feeling though. Yeah, it's nice to be able to put a number on it. It's I think that doesn't really sink in though. Yeah, because
it's a funny thing, eh?
Yeah, it's even if I said 3 mil, I don't know if that's going to mean anything right now. I think it will mean more when we maybe have quit our jobs and done anything. But right now we feel like we're in the grind. Yeah. And that's the mentality we need to kind of have to keep moving forward. Yeah. But in saying that, you got to take moments to reflect, and actually getting prepared for this podcast was a forced reflection, which I haven't really ever done. Not just on property, but life. And there was just seeing the whole journey. It was quite cool now that I've got like a bit of a journal on the whole thing. 100%. And just taking those moments along the way, even this week going, shit, we've done a fair bit. Hey, we've done a lot in 4 years. And I think it's just important moving forward. And I've been doing it a fair bit in the last 6 or so months. It's just not always comparing yourself to others. I think that's an easy one to do. You get so many people on your podcast who have done plenty more than we have, but it's just, I think I've made a bit more active to not compare to that and just look at where we are right now and being happy with that. Because people would probably hear this and compare themselves and feel like they're in a bad position. For sure. It's all just so subjective. So, and it's always going to change. You're always going to move the goalpost forward, right?
It's always relative, man. I think that's the biggest thing. And there's people listening to this who might be a year in or a property in, or even if they're 4 years in and they sat on their hands for the last 4 years and they're going, oh shit, but it's never too late, man.
Exactly.
You can always build on it and start. And the worst thing you can do is pull your hair out. And we see people do this. They procrastinate and they don't want to do anything because I've missed it. And it's no, you just got to restart again. Or if you're a couple of properties in and you're starting, it's all good because I remember, man, I kicked myself for 10 years. I was always like, damn, I was 1 year too late for this or 1 year too late for that. And I did it for ages, man. And the most content I ever became was when I just accepted the fact that I actually am in a pretty good position.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we can't change if you are a year behind something. Dude, I wanted to hit 30 properties by 30.
Yeah.
And I missed it, dude. I had 31 by 31. And I got stalled because of that build.
Yeah.
Remember the build in COVID that I spoke about before? That's what stopped it, man. It stopped the momentum I had at that time if I hadn't done it. But dude, I made $700,000 off that deal in 12 months.
So that's not bad.
Still did pretty well. I'll take the 700K. That's a Ferrari in cash, brother. Fuck. Man, sometimes, man, these things are just dude, it was also a lesson that I took away from it, man. And at the end of the day, mate, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not a race.
Exactly.
We want to do as much as we can, but at the end of the day, it isn't a race because you can only move as quick as you can move. And again, if you have had time out of the market, take it as a lesson, reflect on it. Yeah, shit, I did take too much time out of the market. But now moving forward, I'm going to strip equity as quick as I can. I'm going to push the limits. I'm going to set those reminders at 90 days to get a reval done, not forget about it and go, oh shit, it's actually been 190 days.
Yeah.
And so I said before, the scar tissue, those mistakes are what will create the greatest lessons that you can learn from to then get better.
100%.
And so that realization that it might be 190 days, not 90 days post settlement or post last val, that's the sort of shit that leaves a scar tissue. Then make sure you set that reminder, set that alarm so you get it done and then redo and keep it moving forward. So don't wallow in misery of the mistake, but just take the lesson from it and improve moving forward. So, yeah, man, dude, this has been good, man. I've really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this potty with you today. It's funny, man. I thought before we jumped in, we go, it's probably 60 minutes, brother. We're almost an hour. Geez. We're almost an hour and 40 in. And man, this has been hectic. But I'm gonna wrap this thing with a rapid fire to finish. If you're ready to go, mate, let's hook in. You good?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Question number 1: what's your dream car?
Oh man, look, I'm not a massive car guy, but just like a dream car, top of the line Range Rover, fully blacked out.
Yeah. Ooh, autobiography?
What?
Well, like that's a full top one. It's like 450 grand.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
We'll take that one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's 350. 350 is big. It's big.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Mate, true or false? I'm hooking straight into true or falses. You are actually looking to replace Duke Nukem, Luke Schusen, as head of strategy at APS.
If it's available, maybe true.
Lukey, mate, watch out, brother. He's coming for you. Now, mate, speaking of big Lukey Schusen, mate, he told me that you once represented New Zealand in badminton.
That's false.
Oh,
those are lies.
He said that was true. He was sure. No?
No, that's false.
No, if I do some digging, there's better,
Do some
there's better be
digging.
false. All right, mate. All right. Now, mate, speaking of other people as well, giving a bit of dirt on us too. Dirt on you, sorry, not me. Now, Megs has written in. She's given us a bit of ammo on you. Are you ready? She tells us that you used to walk around Manly Beach with bleach blonde hair. And I remember this from that bloody that Zoom that we did back in the day. So I'm saying that this thing is right and telling everyone that you're a micro influencer.
Yeah, it's yes. And
What's a micro influencer? What even is that?
I can't believe this has come out. Yeah, I know my friends would say I'm a micro influencer.
Okay.
And we kind of just we did walk around in essence saying this. What is a micro influencer? I don't know. It was me. I was bleach blonde, Indian fella in Manly. We used to just walk around and we had a pretty big elaborate backstory.
Yeah.
I'd come over from New Zealand. I was trying to get away from the hustle and bustle and the fame. I was pretty famous over there.
Were you really?
No, it's made up. I guess that's true. I can't believe that's come out.
Oh, there you go. So we've got a couple of trues here. Lukey Chusa might be the dog that's given us the false. But mate, it is what it is. Moving on, I got a couple to finish with, all right?
Yep.
What's the biggest animal you could survive in a fist fight?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe like a pig.
A pig?
Yeah.
Would you eat it?
I don't know what I'll do, but I think if we're just fighting a pig.
Fight a pig.
What's bigger than a pig? That
I don't know.
yeah, it gets a
Big
bit dicey.
wombat? Like a he's big wombat?
Am I fighting a cow? I don't think I'll win. I could, yeah.
Probably boot you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I could. How much do you punch a cow to kill it? I don't know.
You're going to attack a sheep? The Kiwi? You
Couldn't
respect
do
the
that,
sheep.
mate.
Couldn't respect- It's like the kangaroos to us, huh?
Exactly.
All right. I'll let you off. So it's a pig, or is it a cow?
I'm gonna go pig.
Gonna go
it's not
pig,
a great
right.
answer.
Well, you might tenderize the bacon, you know what I mean? Like tenderize pork loins or something. All right, sweet, mate. Last question for you. Tell me something about yourself that not many people would know.
Mate, we just spent 98 minutes de-packing.
Yeah, give me something else.
Good question. I didn't know how to swim properly until about 3 years ago.
What? Why not?
Yeah. Kind of just, I knew the general.
Hang on. Didn't you live in a place called Beach? What was it?
Snell's Beach. Yeah.
You lived in a place called Snell's Beach. You know how to swim?
Full swimming with the technique and I knew how to float pretty well. It came out in probably one of the worst places. I booked me and Megs a trip to Cairns to go to the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
We were pretty much on the boat and she just sees me like kind of worked up, bit sweaty. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And that's when I broke the news. I'm not the best swimmer. She's like, "Mate, you could have told me this when we're not heading 2 hours into the ocean." But she did swim training at school and stuff. So came back from there. 4 lessons with her of the flutter board, and I could do full lengths and everything.
Oh, hectic, bro! Congratulations.
Yeah.
At the Great Barrier Reef, did you float?
I wore a life jacket.
Okay,
yeah.
That's all right, mate.
I didn't know if they would have them as well, so I was like, "This is not a great trip so far." But now I can.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, mate.
Thanks,
Well done.
mate.
How good. Well, sorry, you never answered the question. How did you never learn to swim at the place you lived at a beach?
I don't really know. I guess
Did you like body surf or anything?
we would have swimming at school. Oh, no, the classic one I always say to Megs is just tell mum to give me a note saying I've got an ear infection.
Yeah.
So even at home now, I was like, "Oh, mum, swimming today, eh?" So get the ear infection note. So but now I know. So that's all good.
I love it. All right, Krish. Well, mate, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today, mate. Did you enjoy sharing your story?
Mate, it was so good. Yeah. Started nervous and
That's
now
good.
here we are, a couple hours later almost.
Feeling good.
Feeling like home.
Feeling like
thank
home?
you, appreciate it. It's been awesome to do this, and I hope to come back at a later date, bring Megs along, talk about the next chapter in the journey.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Well, mate, let's see where the next 12 to 24 months takes us. Let's build something significant. Let's see if I was right with the mapping and whether Luke and I are on the same page, and revisit it when we can bring Megs in the studio and she can tell a little bit about her story as well.
Yeah, would love that.
Mate, absolute pleasure to have you in. Thank you so much once again. Listeners, I hope you took some great value out of today's episode. I've got a quick favor to ask you. If you're loving the podcast and you haven't left us a 5-star review yet, if you can please jump on your favorite listening platform, leave us a 5-star review. And if you haven't hit the follow subscribe button, while you're there leaving us a review, hit the follow subscribe button on your favorite listening platform as well. And until next week, guys, that's another Scouting Australia podcast.